It seems $80 games is not going the way the industry hoped, given by Microsoft's recent decision. The House of Xbox is reverting the decision to launch $80 games they announced just 2 months ago, and at least for this holiday season, every game will go back to $70. A spokesperson from Microsoft said, and I quote, "We are focused on bringing players incredible worlds to explore, and we'll keep our full price holiday releases including The Outer Worlds 2 at $69.99 in line with current market conditions." Up until now, only The Outer Worlds 2 had been announced with an $80 price tag, with the developer confirming the U-turn on their social media. But Black Ops 7 was speculated to be $80, and now that won't be the case, while Ninja Gaiden 4 remains at $70 as it was announced. Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier commented on this over on Blue Sky, saying the shift to $80 games is not going as publishers hoped. Plus, an article he wrote back in May pointed out this year's top games are not $80 games, so gamers have too many options to just go spend $80 on a game. This price tag may work for big games like Mario Kart and GTA 6, but not much else. It's interesting this change comes out this quick, so pre-orders for The Outer Worlds 2 must have been very worrying for them to reverse the decision in just 2 months. Other publishers like 2K decided to go $70 for Borderlands 4 after it was rumored to be $80, and Mafia the Old Country is a budget title at $50. While Sony, for example, didn't hint at any increases for Death Stranding 2 or Ghost of Yotei, which is still $70. The only exception to this rule is that Nintendo was successful with $80 for Mario Kart, as we'll see later in this video, but as Schreier said, it might be the exception, not the rule. So we'll see what happens with game prices next year, but for now it seems pricing is staying still. What do you think about this decision from Microsoft? Sound off in the comments. Moving on, switch to Shattered Records, and Kojima's newest masterpiece had a solid debut as part of the June game sales results in the US. Number 5 was for Stellar Blade, jumping an insane 180 spots given its recent PC launch, a solid relaunch for Shift Up's action game. At 4th place, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 remains strong, only dropping 1 spot compared to the month of May. Number 3 was for Mario Kart World, showing $80 games can be successful, and that doesn't count the copies sold as part of a bundle, so it could likely be number 1. The second spot is for Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding 2, debuting in a much stronger place than the first game that launched in the 7th spot back in 2019. And number 1 was Elden Ring Night Reign. The multiplayer From Software game achieves this back-to-back after it did great when it launched back in May. Other top-selling games in the top 10 were Forza Horizon 5, still boosting from its PS5 launch and predicted to have made 3 million copies in the platform so far. Plus MLB The Show 25, Minecraft, GTA 5 and Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma round up the list. There was no change in the top selling games for 2025 so far, with Monster Hunter Wilds commanding, followed by Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Black Ops 6 and MLB The Show 25. As for hardware, Nintendo Switch 2 shattered the PS4 record for most video game hardware units sold in a launch month in US history, moving 1.8 million consoles compared to PS4's 1.1 million back in November 2013. PS5 still remains as the best-selling console for 2025 so far in terms of total units and revenue. What do you think about Switch 2 shattering PS4's record? Did your favorite game make the chart in June? Let me know in the comments. Now here's some quick gaming stories that you need to know. Bloober Team just dropped a 10-minute gameplay clip for Cronos: The New Dawn, and it's looking more and more like the most played horror game for Dead Space fans. Link in the description. Shocking news for Final Fantasy Tactics. Square Enix confirmed they lost the PS1 source code and had to completely reveal the upcoming remaster from scratch. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is getting 35 characters, The fighting game will be playable at EVO next month, and a new screenshot hints at a massive roster. Concerns are brewing over Marvel Rivals' player count on Steam, despite still hitting 100,000 peak players. The game has a downward trend that adds to the speculation on the volatility of live service games. Battlefield 6 debut trailer lands later today, July 24th, but leaks suggest an October 10th release for $70 on PS5, Xbox, and PC, setting up a direct clash with Call of Duty. Now, Sony has announced a new PS5 firmware that has people buzzing on the possibility of making a new handheld. The new update will introduce a new setting for PS5 called Power Saver, and with the option turned on, supported PS5 games will scale back performance, letting you reduce power consumption as part of their environmental plan. The feature is similar in concept to how you would switch power levels on PC portables like the Steam Deck or ROG Ally, where you control the game's performance and the device battery by choosing how much power to draw. There have been rumors of Sony making two PS6, a standard console and a portable, with the latter being able to play full PS5 games at lower resolutions and frame rates, then upscaling via PSSR or AMD FSR. So this feature clearly helps developers to enable options for their games to match the specs for this handheld if the rumors end up being true. Another feature from the update is the multi-point connection for the DualSense controller, allowing you to store different connections between PS5, PC, Mac, and phones, so you can use your controller across devices without having to disconnect and reconnect every time. The update will be up for download today for beta users, but only the multi-device DualSense feature is part of the test. Now, what do you think about this new DualSense feature? Do you think Sony is indeed making a new handheld? Drop your speculations in the comments. Next, we have new details on Ghost of Yotei and how Suckerpunch will balance the variety of activities in the open world. This comes from an interview from Japanese website Automaton with creative director Nate Fox, where he said the following. Ghost of Yotei improves the minigame segments in a sense that we won't be making players go through the same thing all over again whenever their curiosity leads them to encountering new secrets during exploration. We have prepared different kinds of outcomes that could go beyond the player's expectations. We believe that the beauty of open world games is in the exploration, so we were determined to offer players a diverse experience. Now, the recent State of Play touched a little bit on the different activities that will be in the game, like bamboo cutting or hot springs, which are returning, but also a new coin minigame. Besides, there's the new clue system that will let you go through different adventures based on your decisions, and you can discover all these through natural progression of the open world. I don't think there will be no repetition at all, that's almost impossible for any game, but the gameplay loop could have more variety taking into account the natural discovery of missions and activities. We just have to wait a few more months until it's released on October 2nd to find out, but do you think Suckerpunch can hit this goal? Sound off in the comments. And let me know your thoughts on any of these news in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share to your friends and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.